I'm Jenna with Concessions. We're just doing a quick training video on what to do if you're new and you don't know what to expect. So first, when you walk in the door, you're going to come up here. If it's not open, you're going to go over to the office right here, find someone who works here, and ask them to open the door for you. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to come to this board. There'll be a sheet here listing your name and your shift. You need to sign your name, and that shows the volunteer coordinator that you worked your shift, so you can get credit for your hours. The first thing that you do when you walk in, you want to start getting it prepared. So you want to come in, turn on the popcorn machine. Just these two buttons to turn it on to start heating it up for when we're going to make popcorn. This one will turn on later once it heats up. You're going to want to start by making coffee first. You're going to put in a coffee filter. And then, depending on the day, you're going to do 1 bag for a small batch, 2 bags for a medium, 3 bags for a large. We usually start with like 1 or 2, depending if you think it's going to be busy. I usually do 2. On decaf, we usually only make on request. So once you pour the coffee in here, let's say we did a small batch, you would push the small button. I'm going to push it now. It's just going to be hot water. And it will tell you it takes about 5 minutes to make coffee. But that's always one of the first things you want to do, because that's what people want. Make sure that's shut. Alright, this is our coffee machine, or cocoa machine. To make a cappuccino or cocoa, all you do is just push the button. And just make sure you don't fill it up too high, because it does keep going a few seconds after you stop pushing the button. So I usually stop right about 1 inch from the top, and then it will keep filling. And so any hot drinks, get the white paper cup with the cardboard sleeve and the black lid. Alright. To fill the cappuccino and the cocoa and the apple cider, you're going to want to put this up and then be able to take it out. Take the top off, find the refills of cappuccino, cocoa, whatever you're refilling, and then pour in the top. Once it gets to about here, I would refill them. And then to get them back in, you want to line it up with this little peg. And slide it in, and then there's a little button right here, a little silver button that has to go right in this hole that tells you that you've brought it in correctly. And then turn this down, and you're ready to go. These items are stocking products. So we have cocoa, cappuccino, hot apple cider, decaf, regular. If these things are starting to get low, we can go back in the back room and refill them. These are just extra cups and lids. For a slushie, it gets the clear cup, and then you just fill it, and you usually fill it to about this first line here, and then it gets the clear lid. For soda, we just have the one size. These are the selections we have. Fill with ice, and just fill with the soda, and then the frosted clear lid. If someone's complaining that the pop isn't carbonated, you have to check and make sure that there's ice in it. That does activate the carbonation. It won't be carbonated if there's no ice in there. So to fill ice, you take the lid off, you come back here, find the bucket that says ice only. Fill your bucket with ice. And pour in the cup. Alright, another item, if someone's talking about the pop doesn't have carbonation, it might be that the CO2 tank is empty and you'll have to change it. You can usually tell if it says the CO2 tank is out. This button right here will be very low. It won't even be on the grid if it's out of CO2. So to change the CO2 tank, what you need to do is first you need to twist this all the way to the right to close it, so righty-tighty. There it's shut. And then you'll unscrew this. You unscrew it off. I'm not going to do it because you know what I'm saying. Unscrew it. Take the empty one. Put it behind the door. Those are the empties. And then you'll take your new one, attach it. Make sure you keep this key on this rope so the next person can do it. Attach it, and then lefty-loosey to open up the CO2. And then you'll see all of these things come back up. All right, to change the pop, let's say someone says, oh, my orange pop is clear. That means because the syrup's on. To change the syrup, you just simply unhook this. Unhook. There's more backups over here. Find the correlating soda that you're looking for. Grab it, pick it up, put it in the existing spot. Open the box, and you'll find this. It'll have a little cap on it. You just take the cap off, and then re-screw it on. All right, something that we have new this year is the iPads. When you walk in for your shift, you're gonna wanna push on this button, and you're gonna wanna always be, this square is our point of sale icon. So this is everything that we do for our checkout. So when this button comes on, it should say $100 starting cash. That means there's $100 in this cash to start you off for your change. If it doesn't say $100, put in $100, write that in, and push start drawer. Confirm start drawer, and we're good. Then you have to push this button on the very lower hand corner and go to checkout. That is gonna bring you to your screen where you can start bringing in items. Let's say someone wants a coffee and a water. Those items will come up. Then let's say they want 2 waters. You can either push the water button twice, or you can go over to water and increase that to 2, 3, 4, however many they want. Push save, and it will put it there. So then you're gonna put charge, however they're gonna pay. If they pay cash, you can either put in exact, or if they're paying with a $20 bill, you can push that, and it will tell you how much change they get, and the cash register will open. If they're paying with a credit card, let's say a coffee and a pop, push charge. Then you're gonna put, give them this. They're gonna put the chip in this way, insert their card, or if they have Apple Pay on their phone, they can just bring their phone close to it and they'll automatically pay for it. And then what will come up is, I don't have a credit card, but it will come up that if they want a receipt, you can either put in their email address or their phone number, and that's the only way we issue receipts is by email or phone number for text. All right, at the beginning of the shift, you'll want to count that there's $100 in here, so you know you're not short at the end of the day because of that. So we do count the coins. I know in the past they haven't counted coins. We're counting coins too. So $100 in here. Let's say I just made a big mistake. Those people that bought the water and the coffee, they're like, I don't like this, I want my money back, or they want to change it and do something else. Go to transactions. And then it will show the last one that we did, which was this coffee and 4 waters. And it's going to show that whole receipt. I'm going to push issue refund. I'm going to do, let's say it's everything, or you could just do the individual item. Push next. We're going to skip restock. And then this we have to refund in cash because they had cash, but if it was a credit card, it would give you the option to put it back on their credit card. So now I'm doing it the cash. Push refund. Oh, I have to push them. You have to pick one of these. Usually just put other. Or canceled order, that works. Refund. Pretzels. You want to make sure you have a gloved hand. Keep the gloves here. grab a pretzel. We're going to grab a paper plate. And we're going to cook for 1 minute. When you push the button, it will automatically start going. Once your pretzel is hot, if it would like salt, you spray the pretzel and dip in the salt. Alright. If you want cheese with it, if your guest wants cheese with the pretzel, it gets the small cup of cheese. This is 50 cents extra. And you just push the button. It will come out. If your cheese is empty and you need to change it, pull this up out of the machine. You're going to want to unscrew this. Take the cap off the new cheese and screw this one back on. Put it here, line up the little grooves, and drop it back in place. The cheese, we should always have a backup that's in there with it that keeps it hot. So if you run out, you're always going to have one that's already hot and ready to go. You're going to want to take this cart, and it goes outside. Right here, make sure to put the brakes on so when people come and get their ketchup, it doesn't wobble everywhere. When you're ready to make popcorn, you find the ready-made bags. This has all the butter, salt, everything you need to make popcorn. You're going to cut the bag open. Open up the lid, and you're going to pour the contents into the kettle. Put the lid back down, and then you're going to push the agitation button. I would say it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to start popping, and another 3 minutes or so to complete. Once it's almost done popping, dump it, just like this, pull it forward, dump, and then turn off the agitator and the kettle heat, but leave the light on to keep the popcorn warm. When someone orders a popcorn, right now we have boxes, but we're actually going to be switching to bags, so probably in the next month or so it will just be paper bags. But you'll make up a box, and then just scoop the popcorn in the box bag. Either way, easy. Just make sure that you go in the back where we keep our overstock of snacks and goodies and all that, and muffins. You just keep it stocked if it looks empty. That's pretty easy. Same with water and Gatorades. If it's looking a little low or you're missing a color, you can just stock it from underneath here. Underneath the main table is all the backups of water and Gatorades. If we're running low on something, feel free to text me and be like, hey, you know, we're out of water or nachos. The cheese is included in the price. For a pretzel, it's not included, so you have to bring that in separately. Nachos, or for a pretzel, it would be $2.50. If they want the cheese, push side of cheese. It gets a plate, a bag of chips, and a large cup of cheese. Dogs, make sure you have gloved hands. Turn the hot dog machine roller and the heat on. You're gonna want the back to be hot. You're gonna want it between 170 and 190 degrees. That is what heats the hot dogs up to the temperature. Once the hot dogs are done, you're gonna want it on a lower, about 150. You keep the hot dogs in the refrigerator. They'll be right here in this white bin. When you're ready to make hot dogs, you put your hot dogs on the back to get up to temperature. Once they reach 145 degrees, temp them. If they're at 145 degrees or hotter, you can move them up to the front. When someone orders a hot dog, we'll keep buns in here. You'll grab a bun, put the hot dog in the bun, and put in either a hot dog bag, or you can just wrap it in foil. Once hot dogs have been moved to the front, they're good for 2 hours. After 2 hours, throw them away. We're doing frozen pizza this year. Do not make pizza unless someone orders pizza. You can get, if they want, we have sausage, pepperoni, or cheese. We'll come back and grab one. What you want to do is you're going to want to turn the oven on to 450. You're going to want to cut the pizza out of the wrapper. You're going to put the pizza in the oven without the cardboard. It's just going to go right on the racks. Put the pizza in the oven. Set the timer. I start it usually at about 10-11 minutes. After that, you just kind of cook it for 1 minute longer till it gets the desired crispy golden crust. Then you'll take the pizza out, keep your little cardboard and put it on the cardboard. If it's a single slice, you cut into fourths and they get that fourth put on a plate for their slice of pizza. If they're ordering a whole pizza, cut into 8 pieces and then give them however many plates they'd like. Make sure this machine is on, and you can put the extra slices right on top of here, and then write a note at what time you put the pizza in here. It's good for 2 hours once you put it in here. Orders, ramen noodles or macaroni and cheese, you open the container, fill with hot water from here to the filled line, and then shut it, give the guest a fork, and tell them it'll be ready in about 2 minutes. Macaroni and cheese, you're just going to follow the instructions, but you're going to take it out, open it, take the creamy cheese sauce out, fill with water, stir, give it a couple minutes so it cooks the noodles. Then you're going to take your cheese and stir that in. Chocolate chip cookies, you're going to want to turn the cookie oven on. You want to make sure that you have it preheated for at least 20 minutes. Take the sheet pan. Okay. Keep the cookie dough in the freezer. However many cookies you're going to make. I usually do about 6 when I make cookies. Put them on the sheet pan. Once the oven is heated, put the cookies in the oven. You're going to want to shut it. The cookies take about 18 minutes, but if after 18 minutes they're still looking a little doughy, keep doing for another minute until they have that cookie done look. Once they're done, mine aren't, but you're going to want to let them cool for 20 minutes before you wrap them up. Once they're done, you're going to want to take the cooked cookies, wrap them in a piece of paper, put in this container, put a label on here. They're good for 3 days. This year we have 2 combo options. Combo number 1 comes with a hot dog, a side, which is a bag of chips, string cheese or applesauce, and a soda. On the computer, that is under combo number 1. So you'd push combo number 1. The second combo we have is a whole pizza, 4 sodas, or they can also get bottled water if they'd like instead of soda, and 4 sides. Again, string cheese, applesauce, or chips. Once you're ready to open, you've got coffee made. Once you have coffee made, it's safe to open the doors. You want to make sure that this is unlatched. Open. Hook on. And open. To close the doors, shut. And you want to make sure that it's latched so it's locked. And then you can just kind of pull it up and make sure it's not going to pop. You kind of throw away any popcorn or any pizza, hot dogs. Write that down on this list right here. At the end of the night, you're going to want to make sure all these buttons are off. You're going to have popcorn in here. You're going to want to take this off, dump all the popcorn into the garbage. You're going to wash these items, take this out. You're going to go in the back, wash all these items, and then wipe down the insides of the popcorn machine and the floor of the popcorn machine. Tonight, when you're ready to wash your dishes, like your tongs, popcorn machine utensils, pizza cutters, you're going to come in here, you're going to fill up all 3 sinks with warm water. The soap sink gets 1 pump of soap, the middle sink is just water, and the third sink is 1 pump of sanitizer. The first sink is where you wash your dishes. Once they're scrubbed clean, then you rinse, and then dump in the sanitizer. Lay here to dry, or you can hand dry with a towel. At the end of your shift, grab this bucket of dirty towels. We're gonna go to the mechanical room. You're going to want to go take our dirty towels to the mechanical room, which is this way. Dump your dirty towels here. And if there's more towels needed in the concession stand, make sure it's stocked with a stack or 2 of towels. At the end of the shift, we need to mop the floor. You're gonna want 1 pump of the soap in the bucket and then fill with water. And then you can bring this in, mop the floor, bring it back, and dump it. So for some of the items like candy, you're gonna push, if someone wants a Snickers bar, push candy, and then you're gonna wanna find the Snickers button. Let's say now you don't want a Snickers, push the button, minus, save, it will delete that from your screen. Things like donuts, muffins, things like that, they're under baked goods, and those items will come up. So cookies, muffins, donuts, baked goods. What did we say? Snacks are gonna be chips, pickles, ramen noodles, beef jerky, things like that. And merchandise is for our Rebel Mug Club and a card decal. If someone purchases a Rebel mug, they get their first refill free. So it comes with coffee or cappuccino. Another item is, people ask about our dollar refill. If someone has the same cup that they bought coffee or pop with, they can refill it for $1 for soda. So it says $1 for soda, and then $1.25 refill for coffee, cappuccino, hot cider, cocoa. At the end of the night, the ketchup, the mustard, and the creamers do not go in the refrigerator. They are shelf stable. You want to make sure you wipe down the cart of any debris or garbage. Take out this garbage, put it in the main garbage outside, and put a new garbage liner on. 2 garbage liners are kept right here. To refill the ketchup and mustard, you're just going to take the container, take the lid off, grab a new one, and so you'll open it, there'll be like a little piece of paper that you just take that off, take the pump and put it on the new container. You want to make sure you mop the floor, take out all the garbages that are in the concession stand, put them in the big garbage just outside the door, and then put new liners on all the garbages. Okay, you wipe off any hard surfaces with the sanitizer. There's a bottle labeled sanitizer. You can spray on it, it's food grade, and clean it. All right, we do have 2 iPads, normally only using Register 1. Register 2 is only for tournaments and high school games, or if we have a very specific event that we know it's going to be really busy. Any other time, it's just using Register 1. Using 2 registers, each register will have $100. At the end of the night, when you close, it will have both. These are synced, so your total money, like let's say that says you owe $500 in cash, that's going to be the money from both registers, not the one that you're just doing the close up from. Right? All right, closing out. This is the most intimidation thing for everyone. Closing the register at the end of the night, you're going to push this little button, the little bottom number, go to reports. We're going to push end drawer. Under drawer description, put your name, and then you're going to put actual how much money is in that drawer. So we started with $100. If there's $200 in the drawer, that means $100 of it is going to go in your deposit. If there's $102, we're going to just put $2 in the deposit. With that money that's over the $100, you're going to grab an envelope, put that money in it, and put a Post-it note with your name, the amount of cash you're putting in the envelope, and the date. And drawer. We'll say it's 102. 102, or we'll say it's 100 because we didn't do anything, but it should equal difference is 0. Oh, key indicator. So since we started with $100, we do have to include that money in here. So even though the cash that you're putting in the envelope is only $200, when you put actual end drawer, you're gonna put $300. End drawer, confirm end drawer, you're done. There's nothing else you need to do except take your envelope of your deposit, and this just gets dropped in the safe right back here. There's just a little door, like a mail door. Drop it right in there. If you need any more information, you can go to the concessions information book. It should guide you through how to open, how you make each individual items, and how to close at the end of the night. At the end of the night, make sure you turn off all the lights. You're gonna shut the door and then make sure you find a rink attendant to lock it for you.